Boy, I didn't realize that I was supposed to be contributing today, but having grown up a girl's guide who is always prepared, and when I am not, the Lord prepares me because, as Patricia mentioned, she did a newsletter, and when I heard Shelley call my name earlier, I'm like, I wasn't supposed to be reading. But then when Patricia presented and she mentioned about her newsletter, it clicked something in me because I was honored enough to have been able to contribute to one of her newsletters. And I didn't contribute. She contacted me because having read my latest book, which is called Living a Hip Life, which is the story of a mother as told by a daughter, and it's a narrative of an extraordinary life. She thought that a part of it would have lend itself to what she was speaking to on the topic at the time, which was being prepared. And living a hip life, hip being humble, intentional, and prepared. And so this is an excerpt that she had used for her newsletter, I think back in sometime late last year. Okay, so here it goes. It says, she was humble. We got that. A lot of people are. She was intentional. We got that too. Some people are. She was prepared. Oh, was she prepared? And sorry, I'm at that age where I need assistance. So I'm going to put these goggles. Thank you. Mom lived a life of preparedness, the depth and the depth and extensive nature of which was not seen and evidenced until her passing. I always dreaded that day I was going to have to pull out that little black book. These were the words of my sister right after the news of Mom's passing. Little did we know just how important this book would have been, directing the events that days and days to come. The retrieval of the little black book, which turned out to be not so little after all, produced a wealth of information which only a selfless, caring, influential mind could have produced. Oh, what a revelation. The scripting in the book, dated back in 1998, was carefully and intentionally updated every year since. Are you ready for this? Recorded in this little black book was various banks' accounts, their numbers, the institution, and signatures on each. The pension office contacts, names, and phone numbers for the UK, the USA, and Jamaica. Directives of institutions to be notified and documents to be produced in the event of her death. Directions to the will, directives to and contacts for the funeral home that was to undertake the orchestration of her homegoing arrangements. Well, Lynette not only left a will and a legacy, she left a testament to her children of how much she loved and cared for them, always doing, always caring, always protecting. As we approached the entrance of the funeral home, we were met by a pleasant young lady with file in hand. We were barely able to say who we were and that we were there for Lynette Davis when she said, "Oh yes, I've been expecting you. Is this Susan and Baldwin or Yvette and Gary? Because I have all four names here." Startled, my brother and I looked at each other and said in unison, "Baldwin and Susan." Without hesitation, she said, "Come this way. Let's go to the conference room so I can tell you what your mom's plans are for her funeral." So she said, "So I guess you know your mommy had purchased her burial spot years ago, a plot overlooking the Caribbean. She also picked out and paid for her casket. I'll take you to see it in a moment." Well, here she said, showing some paperwork. "Let me tell you, your mother's wishes. Here is where she wants to be serviced. This is whom she wants to officiate. Here is what she wants her death announcement to say. And here is the station she wants it to be on. And there is a frequency of the announcements. Stopping to come up for breath, she informed us that everything was planned and in place, including the outfit to be worn at the funeral and the account designated for the funeral arrangements. My family and I sat in shock and amazement at how intentional and prepared mom was in ensuring that in her modest way, she cared enough to relieve us of any undue funeral responsibilities or decision making. That was the excerpt used to show preparedness in the sense of my mom. The book, again, as you can see behind me, Living a Hip Life, speaks to just being a faith-filled woman and how she lived her life. It's something that can be adopted. Being hip is something that can be adopted by anybody. It can
Mm.
be put to any context at any time. And so I have been, since her passing, God bless her soul, 4 years ago, have been living and trying to embrace living a hip life. And that's something that I ask others to do. It can be done. Just humbly and intentionally prepare for whatever we're doing in life. So that was
Yeah,
my excerpt, as
yeah.
unprepared as I was. Thank you.